Hey everybody, it's Jason with Suburban Adventures, and I've got a follow-up to a video we did almost a year and a half ago when we unboxed our SoloStove. And what I'm going to do today is a follow-up to that. We've now had it for a year. We got it in June of 2021. We've had 2 full summers with it. We've used it countless times. So I just wanted to tell you some of the things I really like about it, and 1 or 2 things that I really sort of dislike about it. I don't know about you, but sometimes if I'm looking for review videos on YouTube, it might be a situation where it's an unboxing. But after using this countless number of times, I thought I'd revisit it and just talk a little bit more about it. I know they're growing increasingly popular, so maybe this will help you decide whether or not you should spend the money on a SoloStove. So if you're thinking about purchasing a SoloStove and you're looking at the price and you're thinking, man alive, is it worth it? Hopefully this will help you decide. I'm going to give you the first thing that I really like about it is I think it looks nice. It's sharp looking, it's stainless steel. You can see after use it sort of gets this bronze look to it. I really like that look, and it looks sharp, it looks nice. The next thing I really like about it is if you're planning on using it on a deck, you can purchase this ring. Now mine, I actually got a deal where this ring came with it. And what you're going to do is you're going to set this ring on the deck and then set the stove on top of it. And it stays perfectly cool. Even if you've had your fire raging for 2 hours, the bottom of this stays cool, won't burn through your deck. I've used it on my deck a couple times with no problem at all. Another thing that's really great about it is just how easy it is to start a fire in the SoloStove. Now I think it's because of the airflow that you have coming up through it. But all you really have to do is just get some dry kindling, get some either a piece of newspaper or dryer lint or something, make a nice little traditional teepee type fire setup, and then man, I have never, in all the times I've had this, I have never had any problem getting a fire going. It just lights right up and gets going really quickly. There you go. You can see we are up and running. Now I use this dry scrap wood that it's very dry, so that obviously helps, of course, right? But it does not take much to get these things going. So there you go. I didn't time it, but it's been less than 5 minutes. It was about, I'm gonna say 3 minutes from the time I lit the newspaper till what we got there, right? Now, it burns hot, so this can be a positive or negative. It burns very hot, right? So if you're gonna roast marshmallows and stuff, you just let it die down a little bit and then roast marshmallows. But really, the one thing that everybody wants to know, the one thing, everybody asks me is it really smokeless? That's what they claim. It's a smokeless fire pit, right? I wouldn't call it smoke free. And I don't know if you can see on the camera, you can see a tiny bit of smoke up there. I always tell people it is smoke less. It is far less smoke than at another, regular fire pit or so. And it, of course, also, it always is going to depend on what you're burning. I have some wood that isn't fully seasoned. It's a little damp. Yeah, that throws off some smoke. This stuff, very dry pieces of scrap hardwood, very little smoke whatsoever. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you, see if you can even pick up any of the smoke on this. I'm not sure if you can pick up on it. There's definitely some smoke coming off of that. But whenever I go in from having a bonfire, it's not on my clothes, it's not in my hair. So it's not that thick, heavy, blowing smoke that you get at a regular bonfire. For me, I would say one of the nicest features of the SoloStove is when you're all done with the fire, just how little ash is left over in the bottom of it. When you're done with it, it's the coals, there's almost nothing left. It leaves you with almost zero ash left over. Now, like anything, you know, there's so many different accessories and so many different sizes you can get. This is the Bonfire, which is the second to the biggest. They have lots of accessories. You can get cooktops for it. You can get a heat deflector for it. You can get a spark shield for it. You can get a cover for it, all sorts of stuff. It does come with a case, which is super convenient. I just actually, when it's done and cooled off, I stick it in the case, and that's how I store it in the garage. One of the cool features that you get with this is what they call the secondary burn. And if you look closely at the holes that are on the top, once the fire gets going and you get some ash and stuff down in the bottom underneath the grate, this fire that's actually burning out of those holes there, so you can sort of see it coming up around there. So it really is pretty cool looking. The first thing to consider that may be a bit of a challenge for the SoloStove is they don't recommend getting the inside of this wet, so you don't want to douse your fire with water or spray it if you got to go inside. Also, if you know, it looks like you might get caught in the rain, it could be problematic. They do sell a shield or a protector or a cover that you can put over it. When it looks like I'm going to get caught in the rain, what I did was I just used the top of my charcoal grill and put it on top of that, so then let it cool off without the inside getting wet before I move it back into the garage. So that may be a challenge for you. If you're going to leave it outside, you really should keep it covered, because they really say that you shouldn't let the inside get wet. While it doesn't build up a lot of ash in here, every once in a while you do have to clean out the inside of it, because ash does fall down into this bottom here, and if it builds up too much, it's going to block your flow that comes through these holes up through the top here of these holes. This is challenging cleaning it out. There's really no easy way to do it. On the original model, this bottom grate here is not removable. What you end up having to do is either shop vac it out, which I've done before to get all the soot out, or turn it upside down, knock out all the ash that's left inside it just to get it cleaned out. Now, in the newest version of the SoloStove, they actually made this removable here, which is a great idea. So they really fixed the one key, I guess you would say, flaw or challenge. The one main thing that really I was, sort of a pain was removing that grate. They made it removable so you could easily clean it out. So that was a really smart move on their part. So let me wrap this all up. In conclusion, is it worth it? Is it worth the $299 or $300 or however much you want to spend on this, depending on the sale or whatever? I would say yes, it is. I'm actually in a SoloStove Facebook group. I think there's like 46,000 members in there, and I've learned a lot about it. I didn't realize that getting a SoloStove was like a way of life. The durability of them, there's people in the group that have had them far longer than me. They last a long time. SoloStove is very, very good about replacing anything damaged from, and it's enjoyable. If you have limited space like I do, you can put it on your deck. It cleans up nicely. It stores away nicely. I would say yes, I think it's definitely worth it after having it for almost a year and a half and using it countless times. So hopefully this helped you out if you're trying to decide, hey, what's all this hype about the SoloStove? This is Suburban Adventures, our family outdoor adventure channel. We also do some reviews on things like backyard fire pits and bikes and things like that. So you can subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. You can check out more videos, and see you next time.